the first case, subcase, to solve the linear differential equation with constant coefficient phi of d into y is equal to f of x. That is the first subcase is to find the particular integral. The first subcase is when fx is exponential function, then we have a shortcut. Second subcase, when fx is sine or cos of ax plus b, then we have a shortcut. Third case is when fx is hyperbolic functions like sine hyperbolic or cos of hyperbolic, then we have a shortcut. Fourth subcase is when fx is a polynomial function of the form x raised to m, then we have a shortcut. Fifth case is a combination of exponential function and the function among this, that is v. So v is a function of x, then we have a shortcut. Case number 6 is when fx is a combination of x and v, where v is a function among the previous one, then we have a shortcut. And the last is when the power of x is not 1, then we have a shortcut, that is fx is x raised to m sine ax or x raised to m cos of ax, then we have a shortcut, isn't it? So we have discussed all these 7 cases in detail up to the last lecture. uh, Almost one example we have discussed on each. Now let us discuss the combined example on shortcut method, and then we'll proceed with the next third step of the particular integral. So the first example, right on the first example, or let me share the examples. So this is the first example. Right on. Solve d2 solve d square plus 2d plus 1 into y is equal to 2 cos x 2 cos x. I hope it is visible. Two cos x plus 3x plus 2 plus 3 e raised to x. Start to solve this example. Now, first of all, get the complementary function, because the complete solution of linear differential equation with constant coefficient phi of d into y is what? Cf plus pi, complementary function plus particular integral. So the first is, so such examples will be asked in final examination. Combination of shortcut cases. Here the combination of shortcut, cos, then polynomial and exponential function, isn't it? So d square plus 2d plus 1 into y is equal to 2 cos x. Yes. So what is the complementary function for this?
C1 plus C2x into e raised to
C1 plus C2x. Because when we consider this auxiliary equation, it is d square plus 2d plus 1 is equal to 0, which is the expansion of d plus 1 the whole square is equal to 0, suppose. So if we equate each factor to 0, then we'll get the roots d equal to 1, 1, minus 1 actually. Minus 1 repeated twice, isn't it? So the roots are real and repeated. Therefore, the complementary function is c1 plus c2x into e to the power minus x. Please check. I hope it is visible. Board is visible. Please ask if any doubt. Now to find the particular integral pi. Pi is equals to 1 upon phi of d into f of x. So what is our phi of d here? Pi is equals to 1 upon phi of d is d square plus 2d plus 1, which is actually we can write as a d plus 1 the whole square into f of x, that is 2 cos x plus 3x plus 2 plus 3 e raised to x complete. Now this f of x is not of single form. It is a combination of functions like cos, polynomial function, constant function, and exponential function. Isn't it? So these are the sub cases of shortcuts. Isn't it? So we have to use all the shortcut methods. Isn't it? But we cannot use directly into this. We have to separate this operator over each function and then we can use those shortcuts. So what it will be? Therefore, pi is equals to 1 upon, I'm writing in expanded form, that is d square plus 2d plus 1, because for the cos I want d square. I hope you remember that in case of cos and sine we need terms in d square to for the replacement.
D replaced with
Plus,
-1.
yes, we replace d square by minus a square. A is 1, so minus 1 plus 1 upon d square plus 2d plus 1 into 3x. I'm writing 3x plus 2 because this, the whole I can treat as a polynomial function, isn't it? 3x plus 2. Or you can consider 3x also. In that case, we will get 4 terms. I'm considering 3x plus 2, so I'll be getting only 3 terms, isn't it? And the next is 1 upon d square plus 2d plus 1 into 3 e raised to x. These are the 3 terms. And now I know the case for cos, I know the case for polynomial function, and I know the case for exponential function. In case of cos or trigonometric function, we are replacing d square by minus a square. In case of polynomial function, we have to expand this operator 1 upon phi of d using the expansions 1 upon 1 plus p or 1 upon 1 minus p. And in case of exponential function, what we are doing? We are replacing d by a, simply d by a, isn't it? So let us use those cases. If I replace d square by minus a square here, then what I'll get? Minus 1 plus 1 will be 0. 1 upon 2d into 2 cos x. I'm writing here. Pi is equals to 1 upon minus 1 plus 2d plus 1 into 2 cos x plus, I can write for this 1 upon 1 plus d square plus 2d for our convenience 3x plus 2, because I want to use the expansion 1 upon 1 plus p. So I'm writing in that form 1 upon 1 upon 1 plus p, where p is d square plus 2d. Isn't it? And plus here when I replace d by 1, we are replacing d by a. So a is 1, ax. So a is 1. So when we replace d by 1, 1 upon 1 plus 2 plus 1, that is 1 upon 4. So 3 by 4, I'm writing directly 3 by 4, 3 cos e raised to x. Sorry, 3 e raised to x, not cos. Oh, sorry, 3 by 4 e raised to x. 1 plus 2, 3 plus 1, 4. Is it 3 by 4? Now, here minus 1 will get cancelled. Then what I'll get? 1 upon 2d into 2 cos x. Here, the expansion is 1 upon 1 plus p ka expansion, 1 minus p, that is d square plus 2d plus p square, I'm writing simply bracket, into that polynomial 3x plus 2, isn't it? Right? So, sorry. So, here 2 will get cancelled. 1 upon d means integration. What is integration of cos x? Integration of cos x is
Sin.
sin x
Plus sin x.
plus sin x, correct. Plus, now here, what is the degree of this polynomial? Degree of this polynomial is 1, isn't
1.
it? So we'll consider the terms in expansion up to power of d is 1, isn't it? We'll consider the terms up to d, because d square and further all derivatives are getting 0 of this, isn't it? So I'll consider 1 minus d square will be 0 minus 2d, and the next term, from the next term, do I have d term from that expansion? Because it is the expansion of this d square plus 2d the whole square. So when I expand it, d square square is d raised to 4, that is neglected. Then twice ab d cube term, that will be neglected, plus b square, that is 2d square, that is 4d square, that is again neglected. So these are only the two terms I'll be having, into 3x plus 2 and plus 3 by 4 e raised to x. Please ask if any doubt in this. And then sin x
Sir,
plus,
as
yes,
you took 3x plus 2 as a one polynomial term, what
yes,
if I
correct.
took those separate, 3x separate, 2 separate?
That is also possible. In that case also we will get the same answer.
Then
No
I can
problem.
use the formula 1 upon 5 of d into k for 2.
Correct, correct. That is correct, because 2 is constant, na? So for constant we are replacing d by 0,
Yes,
right?
sir.
That is
Right.
correct. No problem. It will increase one more step, but no problem like this also, because 3x plus 2 is also a polynomial function, isn't it? So 1 into 3x plus 2 minus 2 d of 3x plus 2 plus 3 by 4 e raised to x. Now sin x plus 3x plus 2 minus 2 into d of 3x plus 2, that means derivative of 3x plus 2. What is that? Derivative of 3x plus 2 is 3, isn't it? And plus 3 by 4 e raised to x, and that is your final answer, particular integral. Therefore the complete general solution is, therefore the general solution is y is equal to cf plus pi. So what is cf? c1 plus c2 c2x e raised to minus x, and this pi, that is plus sin x plus 3x plus 2 minus 6 plus 3 by 4 e raised to x. You can simplify if it is possible, otherwise let it be, that will be your final answer. So remember, such questions will be asked in the final examination, combination of sub cases. There are rarely questions on particular one case, isn't it? So you should be prepared for the combination like this. Please ask if any doubt, or take the next one. The next question is d cube minus 1 into y is equal to 1 plus e raised to x, the whole square. So solve it fast. Tell me the answer. What are the roots here? Now this is cubic equation. So we should have three roots. So what are those three roots? Yes,
1,
it is of the form a cube minus b cube, right? A cube minus b cube. Hello? Is it of the form a cube minus b cube?
yes, sir.
Then what is the expansion formula of a cube minus b cube? A cube minus b cube को हम कैसे लिखते हैं? Yes.
A minus
फिर हमने
A minus B in bracket
हाँ
and A square plus AB plus B square.
correct, ab plus b square, isn't it? So if I write this in this in its expanded form, then I can write d cube minus 1 as a, or 1 cube is equal to d minus 1 into d square plus d, is it? Because ab d plus 1, right? So this is equal to 0, that means this is equal to 0. So d minus 1 equal to 0 means d equal to 1 is a root, and this is equal to 0 means we can solve either using splitting middle term method or by quadratic formula method. So get those roots. So from this I'll get d equal to 1, and from this, what are the roots? Are the roots real? Check, because d equal, by quadratic formula it is minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So that is equals to minus 1 plus minus root 3i, because minus 3 it is, and square root of minus 1 is I upon 2, isn't it? So the roots are minus 1 by 2 plus minus root 3 by 2i. You can check, the roots are complex. So one root is real and the remaining two roots are complex. As I said, complex roots are always come in pair. So here we are having the two roots, two complex roots in fact. So therefore with these roots, the complementary function is CF is equal to, I'm writing for the real root first. It is not necessary, again, order is not important. It is up to you. So C1 e raised to x plus, for the complex roots or the imaginary roots, how to write the complementary function? Plus e raised to alpha x. So what is alpha here? Alpha is real part. What is real part here? Minus 1 by 2. So e raised to minus 1 by 2 into x, that is minus x by 2 into C2. C1 is already over here, covered here. So C2 cos beta x. What is beta here? Root 3 by 2 into x plus C3 sine of beta x. This is the complementary function. Please check C1, C2, C3 as it is of order 3. You can get these roots by calculator also. See, the method of getting root is not important here. It will not have marks, but with those roots, how you are writing the complementary function, that is very important, because that is a prerequisite actually, the roots of equation. So with this complementary function, now let us have particular integral pi is equal to 1 upon phi of d into f of x. That is our general formula of particular integral. So that is equals to 1 upon, what is phi of d cube minus 1, isn't it? D cube minus 1. And what is f of x? It is 1 plus e raised to x square. So let us expand this first. 1 upon. So with this f of x, first of all, my job is to investigate whether I can apply the shortcut or I have to apply the general. So that depends on the function fx. So here fx involved the exponential function, and I know I can use the shortcut. I have the shortcut for exponential function, so that is why we use the shortcut formula for. But for the shortcut, we need simplified form of this. So let us simplify this: a plus b the whole square d cube minus 1 plus 2 e raised to x plus e raised to 2x, because e raised to x ka square will be e raised to 2x. And now operate this operator over this function separately. So what will get? Therefore, pi is equal to 1 upon, for 1, or first of all let us write like this: 1 into 1 plus 2 1 upon d cube minus 1 into e raised to x, and plus 1 upon d cube minus 1 into e raised to 2x. So for 1, that is constant, what we are doing? We are replacing d by 0. So that will be 0 minus 1, that is minus 1, plus 2 into, for e raised to x, what we are doing? We are replacing d by a. What is a here? A is 1. So when I replace d by 1, it will be 0, case of failure, right? So with the case of failure, I know what to do. What we are doing? We are multiplying the whole operator by independent variable, and then we are differentiating the denominator. So derivative of d cube minus 1 is 3d square
3d square.
into e raised to x. Is it? And then next is plus, here we replace d by a, that is 2. So when I replace d by 2, I'll get 1 upon 2 cube minus 1 e raised to 2x. So therefore, which is equals to minus 1 plus 2x into 1 upon 3, d replaced by 1. So that will be 1. So 2 by 3x I'm writing. 2 by 3x plus 8 minus 1 by 7 e raised to 2x. And that is your final pi. So therefore write CF plus pi general solution. Please ask if any doubt. This is again very easy example and can be asked for the theory. Now the next one is d raised to 4 minus 1 into y is equal to cos x hyperbolic cos x. Take the next question. Cos x hyperbolic cos x. Come on fast. Write the complementary function. What are the roots here? Yes. Anshika Singh. Anshika,
Hello, yes, sir.
what are the roots here?
Sir, I'm still doing the last question, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, 1 is the root.
D equal to 1.
4 times.
Yes, sir. 4 times, I think.
I don't think, but please check.
Sir,
If it is d minus 1 the power 4, then it will be 4 times 1.
Sir, is it plus minus I and plus minus 1?
Correct. Because when I write d raised to 4 minus 1 as a d square minus d square square minus 1 square, then I can use a square minus b square formula. So what I'll get, d square minus 1 and d square plus 1, isn't it? And when I equate these to 0, from this d square minus 1 I'll get plus minus 1, is it? And from d square plus 1 I'll get plus minus I. So these are the four roots, plus minus 1 plus minus I. If it is d minus 1 raised to 4, then d equal to 1 repeated 4 times. So with these real, repeated and complex roots, the complementary function is c1 e to the power x plus c2 e to the power minus x plus e raised to alpha. Alpha is 0 because it is 0 plus minus I. So c3 cos beta, beta is 1, beta x plus c4 sin beta x. That is my complementary function. Very easy.
Sir, even synthetic division is possible.
Yes, yes, synthetic division is also possible because we know by using those tricks, I'll get 1 as a root, and with the help of 1 and by writing this phi of d in its standard form, I can use the synthetic division method. That is also possible. Correct. But always remember, if the powers are even and if it is minus 1, then try to use that formula a square minus b square. Always, if the power is even. You cannot use if the power is odd. But if it is even, even means multiples of 2. So I can write like this, d square square, or d, if it is even d raised to 6 also, then also I can use that formula, d raised to 6 minus 1. Is it? That I can write d cube square minus a square, and I can proceed with that. Anyways, so to find the complementary function, sorry, particular integral, let us write the formula. Pi is equals to, Pi equals to 1 upon phi of d into f of x, that is cos x cos of hyperbolic x. Do we have any shortcut for this? Answer is no, because we have a shortcut only for cos or only
Sir,
for hyperbolic cos. Yes. Yes. Someone want to ask something?
no, sir, no, sir.
Okay, fine.
I had a doubt. It got clear.
So we don't have any shortcut for such multiplying factors, multiplying functions, is it? So we have to simplify first, and then we can, yes, of course, we have a shortcut for either hyperbolic or trigonometric. So let us make the use of it, is it? So I know the formula, either to write cos in terms of exponential or to write the hyperbolic cos in terms of exponential. So let us use the hyperbolic cos function in terms of exponential function. I know the formula, that is hyperbolic cos x is equal to e raised to x plus e raised to minus x upon 2, isn't it? So with this formula, I can write pi is equals to 1 upon d raised to 4 minus 1 cos x into e raised to x plus e raised to x minus x upon 2. So therefore, we can take this 1 by 2 outside the operator because that is constant. Pi is equals to 1 upon 2 into 1 upon d raised to 4 minus 1 e raised to x cos x plus, okay, either we can write outside the operator or we can multiply also 1 upon 2 times 1 upon d raised to 4 minus 1 into e raised to minus x cos x. All right, and then which formula to be used here? Which
e raised to
shortcut
x
case?
into v.
Correct. E raised to ax into v case I have. It says pi is equals to, what is e raised to x into v case? In that case, we are writing exponential function outside the operator, and we are replacing d by,
D plus a.
correct, d plus a. So what is a here? 1. So d plus 1 raised to 4 minus 1 cos x. Please check once. And similarly, sorry, plus 1 upon d raised to, I'm writing a raised to minus x outside, and I'm replacing d by d minus 1 because a is minus 1. So d minus 1 raised to 4 minus 1 cos x. Please check. So we should know the expansion of d plus b the whole raised to 4, bracket raised to 4. Do you know the expansions? If you don't know, then you should have a trick to get those expansions. You might have
Sir, a plus b whole square into a plus b whole square.
a plus that is also correct, but in that case again we have to multiply those two brackets, isn't it? Actually, I know that a plus b raised to n, when I'm writing, I have to write the expansion starts from the highest power of a, that is a raised to n, is it? Because nc0 is 1 plus nc1 a raised to n minus 1 b raised to 1 and so on. So those nc1 nc2 nc3 and so on, I know how to get by combination formula, isn't it? But instead of that, you might have heard about the Pascal's triangle. Do you know Pascal's triangle? How to write the
Yes, sir.
Pascal's triangle? 1 1 1 1 1 plus 1 2 1, then 1 plus 2 3 3 1 1, like this,
One.
isn't it?
Yes.
We are going on writing like this: 1 plus 3 4 6, this is 4 1 1. Now what are these numbers? These are actually the coefficients in that expansions, isn't it? This is the coefficient when I'm writing simply a plus b raised to 0, isn't it? These are the coefficients in the expansion of a plus b raised to 1. You can check. The coefficient of 1 is coefficient of a is 1, coefficient of b is 1, isn't it? These are the coefficients in the expansion of a plus b square. These are the coefficients in the expansion of a minus b square, plus. These are the coefficients in the expansion of a plus b cube, and so on. You can check.
Sir,
Sorry,
order is wrong.
sorry, something
Order.
this
Sir,
is 3,
order it is.
this is 4, sorry, right? And now if it is minus, then we have to go by alternate plus minus sign, nothing else. If it is a minus b square, then plus minus plus. If it is a minus b cube, then plus minus, like this, isn't it? So this Pascal's triangle looks like a triangle, therefore the name is triangular, Pascal's triangle, which is again very easy. Always remember, this will gives the coefficients in the expansion. Is it clear? So with the help of these coefficients, I can write the expansion of a plus b raised to 4. How to write? 1 into a raised to 4, isn't it? Plus 4 into a cube. The coefficient power of b is 1. Here the power of b is 0, like this. Plus 6 a square b square plus 4 a. See, I'm decreasing the powers of a and increasing powers of b. Right? 4a b cube plus b raised to 4. Is it clear? This is how we can write the expansions. The next will be a plus b raised to 5. So what are those? 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, and 1. Very simple. I hope it is clear. Pascal's triangle. Even we can make a mathematical model also on this Pascal's triangle. So what was that last step? Pi is equals to I think 1 upon 1 by 2 e raised to x 1 upon d raised to 4 minus 1 into what was cos x plus 1 upon 2 e raised to minus x 1 upon it is d plus 1 raised to 4 minus 1. Here it is 1 upon d minus 1 raised to 4 minus 1 cos x. Now expand this using that expansion I've given. So half of e raised to x into 1 upon, what is the expansion of this? D raised to 4 plus 4 d cube plus 6, na? Is it 6? 6 d square plus 4d plus 1, check, and minus 1 into cos x. This is equals to 1 upon, I'm writing here only. This is the expansion with alternate plus minus sign, something else. So d raised to 4 minus 4 d cube plus 6 d square minus 4d minus 1 cos x. Please check. Please ask if any doubt. Okay, so with these expansions, see, we have to be patient while solving these examples. After all, it will be for 5 to 6 marks, isn't it? So e raised to x 1 upon plus minus will get cancelled, and we know the case for cos. What we are doing? We are replacing d square by minus a square. So how to write d raised to 4 in terms of d square? Either d square into d square or d square square, isn't it? So d square square will be minus 1 ka square, isn't it? Because see here, d square square. So I'm replacing for d square by minus 1, and minus 1 ka square will be plus 1 plus 4d into d square. Okay, I'm writing first, plus 6d square plus 4d into cos x, and plus 1 by 2 e raised to minus x 1 upon the same thing I'm doing here also, d square square minus 4d d square plus 6d square minus 4d minus 2. I think something is wrong, no?
Sir, it's plus 1, I think.
Where here? The last one is plus, minus plus, na? It must be, sorry. Yeah, so that is again getting cancelled.
Yes,
Minus, so that is again getting cancelled into cos x. So now replace. So the case says replace d square by minus a square. So minus 1 ka square will be plus 1. So 1 upon 1 plus d square by minus 1. So minus 1 into 4d minus 4d minus 4d. Here minus 6 plus 4d. Oh, that is again getting cancelled. It's easy. Into cos x. Please check the calculations. Minus 4d plus 4d. Right. Plus half e raised to minus x 1 upon 1. See, minus 1 का square will be 1. Minus, ये minus 1 है, तो minus minus plus 4d. Isn't it? This will be minus 6. Minus 6, minus 6.
4D minus 4D cancel.
Yes?
4D minus 4D in next also cancel.
That is also possible. But I'm just checking for this. Is it plus only here? Please check the calculations. Minus 4d into cos x. So that is again getting cancelled. Please check the calculations. So half of e raised to x into 1 minus 6 minus 5. So minus 1 by 10 e raised to x cos x. And here it is again minus 5. So minus 1 by 10 e raised to minus x cos x. Please check.
Sir,
So if I
on
take a
further, sir, on further
Huh?
simplifying, it's becoming minus 1 by 5 cos x cos hx.
Correct. So that is when I write, when I take cos x common, minus cos x in fact, minus cos x, then I'll get uh, e raised to x plus e raised to minus x, because I'm taking minus sign common, upon 10, isn't it? But if I write 2 into 5, if I write 5 outside and 2 here, then this will be hyperbolic cos. So again, I can write in terms of hyperbolic. So that is minus 1 by 5 cos x into hyperbolic cos x. That is right. So therefore, the general solution is CF plus PI. Please check calculations. Any doubt? Any doubt with the shortcut,
No, sir.
which is very easy and very important also? Because as I said, in the earlier pattern, 2015 pattern, these questions were asked for 4 marks. Like in the final question paper, question number 1 was having 2 subparts, A and B. In A, there were 3 LDs for 4 marks each. And out of these 3, student have to solve any 2, isn't it? For 8 marks. So 1 for 4 marks, and out of those 3, one was there, one was compulsory. Which one? Variation of parameter. That is the next method we are going to discuss. And the next 2, the further 2 are either on general or shortcut. So the shortcut is very important. If any doubt in shortcut or general, please ask, or you can ask separately also. I hope you are trying to solve examples. Anyways, the next method to find the particular integral, that is method of variation of parameter. Method of variation of parameter. As I said, this is very, very important, and it is totally different from the previous 2. In general, we have discussed the integration formulas which are applicable to all questions as it is general, isn't it? But that is lengthier one. So we have discussed some shortcuts in shortcut method. Now, the method of variation of parameter method is completely depends on the complementary function, remember. Because once you have correct complementary function, then only you can proceed to find the particular integral. So this variation of parameter method completely based on the complementary function. So let us discuss the method first. As I said, it is completely depends on the complementary function. Let me start with the complementary function only. So suppose if we get the complementary function of the form, if CF is equal to C1, let us say e raised to x, plus C2 e raised to minus x, for our convenience, isn't it? So e raised to x and e raised to minus x are the 2 functions of x here, right? So let me denote those 2 functions in general by y1 and y2. So C1 y1 plus C2 y2, where y1 and y2 are the 2 separate functions of x. So actually, let me tell you why the name is method of variation of parameter. Actually, if you consider the formula of complementary function, what are the parameters there? In fact, these C1 and C2 are called the arbitrary constants. And those arbitrary constants, we are going to vary now. Vary. Okay. Because the solution, the general solution of that given differential equation, linear differential equation with constant coefficient, will be infinite solutions. It will have infinitely many solutions, and those infinitely many solutions are depends on the values of these CIs. If we change value of CIs, we'll get the different solutions, isn't it? So here in this method, what we are doing, we are varying those values of C1 and C2. That is why the name is parameter. We are considering these two as a parameters, and we are considering their varied values. So actually, instead of considering the constants, we are considering them as a arbitrary constants, not the pure constants, isn't it? When I say, see here, when I say 2 and k, I know the value of 2. What is the value of 2? It is 2 only, isn't it? Can I say the value of 2 is 3? No, isn't it? But when I'm considering k, I can say the value of k maybe 2, maybe 3, or whatever it may be, isn't it? So the value of k is not fixed. It is our choice to consider that value, isn't it? So this is constant and this is arbitrary constant. Remember. So here these CIs are arbitrary constants. So we are varying their values, therefore we are considering them as a parameter, and variation of parameter method says we are varying their values. So what the method says? Method says consider the complementary function as a C1 y1 C1 into y1 plus C2 into y2. Okay. So what is y1 here? Y1 is the complete coefficient of C1, or along with C1 it is, isn't it? And y2 is the complete coefficients of C2. Is it? Why I'm telling this? Because most of the students are confused with this y1 and y2. See, these are y1 and y2 are only the important things in method of variation of parameters. So you should know what are y1 and y2, isn't it? Because when I get the complementary function as a c1 plus c2 x into e raised to 3x, suppose, then what are y1 and y2 here? Is it? So to write y1 and y2, I have to multiply by this first. I cannot say y1 is 1 and y2 is x. Isn't it? y1, y2 are the complete functions of x. So I have to expand this bracket first. That is, I'll write c1 into 1 e raised to x plus c2 into x e raised to 3x. And now I can say y1 is e raised to x and y2 is, e raised to 3x, and y2 is x e raised to 3x. Is it clear? So this is very important to get y1 and y2 in this. So I hope it is clear about y1 and y2. So if complementary function is c1 y1 plus c2 y2, then we are assuming, assume pi, particular integral, is u y1 plus v y2. ये हमारा assumption होगा कि u y1 plus v y2 will be our particular integral. And now what are these u and v? So we'll find the values of u and v with the help of these y1, y2, and we'll substitute those u and v into this, and that will be our final particular integral. So the values of u and v are where I'm writing the first thing to write those values. So let me write the complete thing. So we'll start with CF. CF is C1 Y1 plus C2 Y2. So let Pi is equal to U Y1 plus V Y2, where formula of U is integration of minus y2 into the right hand side function. What was right hand side function? F of x, because our linear differential equation is phi of d into y is equal to f of x. So the right hand side is f of x upon w. W is called Wronskian. It is the notation of Wronskian, into dx. The formula for v is integration of y1 into f of x. It is plus here and it is minus here. Remember, y2 f of x and y1 f of x upon w dx, where what is this w? W is Wronskian, and the value of this w is w equals to W equals to determinant of y1, y2, y1 dash. Okay. नंतर ठीक है. y1, y2, y1 dash, y2 dash. Right? y1, y2, y1 dash, y2 dash. So this is a method of variation of parameter. We have started with complementary function, that is C1 y1 plus C2 y2. So particular integral will u y1 plus v y2, where u is integration of minus y2 f of x upon w dx. V is integration of y1 f of x upon w dx, where w is the Wronskian, and the value of w is the determinant of y1, y2, y1 dash, y2 dash, where dashes are the derivatives. y1 ka derivative and ye y2 ka derivative, isn't it? Now, you might be thinking that why we have considered only C1 y1 and C2 y2. Why we haven't considered C1 y1 plus C2 y2 plus C3 y3 or plus C4 y4? Since we are considering this, that means we are considering only the second order differential equation, isn't it? So is it the case for only second order differential equation? The answer is no, isn't it? This is actually a general case. This is not actually general case, but the method of variation of parameter method is the general case, but we have discussed that case only in particular for the second order differential equation. And that is this method, or the questions on this method will be asked up to second order only. Because let me tell you the formula for the third order differential equation. It is very lengthy, and you will come to know why will not be asked the third order differential equation. Because when we consider third order differential equation, equation means how many roots it will have? 3. 3 roots means 3 arbitrary constants like C1 y1 plus C2 y2 plus C3 y3. So with these 3 arbitrary constants, we'll have 3 such parameters u, v, and w. Isn't where the formula of u will be actually, let me write those formulas. Let's suppose C3 y3, so w y3. So the formulas of u, v, and w are: u is equals to determinant of delta u upon delta into their integration with respect to x. V is integration of delta v upon delta integration with respect to x, and w is integration of delta w upon delta with respect to x. See, these deltas are just like the discriminants. You might have discussed those in Cramer's rule, isn't it? Where delta is what? Delta is actually the same thing. Discriminant, or no, not discriminant. Delta is actually the Wronskian, but Wronskian of all y1, y2, y3. That is y1, y2, y3. Then derivative of y1, y1 dash, y2 dash, y3 dash, and again second order derivative y1 double dash, y2 double dash, y3 double dash, isn't it? These are deltas. Now what are these delta u? So actually the main differential equation is phi of d into y is equal to f of x. This is our standard linear differential equation. So while writing delta u is also the determinant, delta v is also the determinant, and delta w is also the determinant. But how to write those determinant? While writing delta u, we have to replace the first column by f of x 0 0, isn't it? F of x 0 0, or 0 0 f of x, we can say. Then delta v, while writing delta v, will replace the second column by f of x 0 0, and while writing delta w, will replace the third column by f of x 0 0. And then we can solve those determinant to get the values of these things, and so on. We can similarly write the complementary function and particular integral for fourth order. So fourth order means we'll get such determinant of order 4 by 4. Here we are having 3 by 3 determinant, and all these three determinants of order 3 by 3. So it is difficult, not difficult actually, it is lengthier, time consuming to solve these determinants. So that is not convenient in theory examination. So it will not ask for third order and higher order. So the question on variation of parameter method will be asked only up to second order only. We should know these things. So let me again recall that the method of variation of parameter completely depends on what? The complementary function. Will start with the complementary function, then we write the particular or we assume the particular integral to be uy1 plus vy2, where the value of u or the formula of u is integration of minus y2, the right hand side function f of x upon Wronskian. The formula for v is integration of y1 f of x upon Wronskian, where the Wronskian is determinant of y1, y2 and their derivatives. That's it. So first of all, solve this determinant and substitute those values here to solve these integrations. We have to solve these integrations here in method of variation of parameter. That's it. This is all about the method of variation of parameter. So the question will be in particular, it will be mentioned there that solve this question by using method of variation of parameter. Solve by method of variation of parameter method, like this. So let us solve some questions on this. Okay, I think we have exceeded the time. It is 11. Okay. So we'll stop here. I request you all to solve the examples on general and shortcut methods. And if you have asked any doubt, you can ask those questions. I'll try to solve those and we'll send you. So I'll stop here. Okay.